Good morning and welcome to a unusually happy edition of Morning Java after the Steelers winning their first game. This is brought to you as always by our friends at the Get-Go Cafe and Market, where this month they're featuring $4.99 subs, 7-inch subs.
7-inch subs, can't do better than that, and Steelers couldn't do much better than they did today.
They actually couldn't. There's an elephant in the room in this conversation. It's going to be that the Bengals really stink. But
that's okay, because you know what? The Dolphins stink, the Cardinals stink, and the Jets stink, and that's who everybody else in the division has beaten this year.
Right. And at some point or other, they're going to get to the Colts, who don't stink, but who also don't have Andrew Luck either. So the equalizers are going to start coming into play, and that's why, other than obviously a win, what I've been looking for from this team more than anything, Dale, was to just play better. Find some kind of identity, you know what I mean? And where is that for you right now, the identity element?
I mean, I think you got more of a look at it tonight, just because the defense hasn't had an opportunity to play like it played in this game, because the offense has been on the field so little.
Yeah.
So the defense is out there constantly.
I know what you meant.
And they get an opportunity to play with a little bit of a lead today, and you saw it, turn into. I mean, this team can rush the passer.
Oh my goodness.
This team can really play pretty well in the secondary, and we saw that.
And that the rushing the passer part is what stood out for me, simply because, and I ran this past Mike Tomlin, and you know how he hates every question that anybody's ever asked him. He actually seemed to agree with this premise that I brought up, which was that the pass rush is the one consistent element through all four games in New England, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where it's been there. But now what you saw was it wasn't just TJ. Bud's been back there a lot, actually. But the push that's coming from Cam, from Stephon right up front, and then the secondary guys are making the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it's supposed to work.
Right.
Your offense is supposed to give you at least a lead, and then allow your defense to make those kind of plays. And, this is something that they can do against a lot of different teams if they play error-free on offense. They have a shutout tonight if the offense doesn't have that one turnover.
Right.
I mean, that's how good the defense played.
That's right. Right. And even that was held to a field goal.
Folks, the best thing that came out of tonight was that Chris Carter finally got off the schneid.
Yes.
Because he picks the Steelers to win every week.
Every week. That's just how I do.
I, by the way, am now 3-1.
Oh, excuse you. You got a couple of. I'm coming back. Don't worry.
That leads me to the division, Chris.
Yeah.
The Steelers get this win in this game. Yes, it was against the Bengals, but it's a division win.
Division win.
It's an AFC win.
Yep.
And you've got the Ravens coming to town next week.
And they're coming off a really bad loss at home to the Browns. They are one game out of first place. If the Browns don't go on the road and beat San Francisco
on Monday Night
Football, that means the Steelers have a chance to be in first place. How wild is that, Dale? That's football. Like, 1 minute everyone has them buried and dead, and you're talking about a couple things go their way next week, and they could be right back in the mix.
Yeah, and some of the commenters on my preview story were saying, do you really want to get into the playoffs if you're not one of the better teams? Yeah, you want to get into the playoffs. That's why you play the game.
You play to win the game.
Come on, people.
No, yeah, I agree with you, Dale. There's a lot of things that they can still have go for them. I think you saw, with as creative as they had to get offensively tonight, they could still find different ways to win, and especially on defense. The way they played, I know it's just the Bengals, but there's a lot of good signs about where they're going.
Absolutely.
Hunter, the Steelers had 8 sacks on the night.
A lot of sacks.
They were getting after the quarterback. I talked to all the guys up front, and they said several things. They were planning to have organized chaos up front, but one thing that really helped was not being on the field as much. They had less than 70 snaps for the first time this season. That's a big way for those guys to be healthy.
Funny how having some gas in the tank can help you get sacks. But my favorite performance on the defense today was Cam Hayward.
Oh, of course.
Bar none. I mean, he goes down in the first quarter, and it looks like, is he coming back?
He was
to the
questionable,
game?
yeah.
He was literally questionable. Just now downstairs, he said, I was going through it. He was admitting, that thigh was hurting, but I got to find a way to get back in the game. And not just get back in the game, 2.5 sacks. That was the Cam Hayward Steelers fans have been waiting to see this year.
Certainly. And one thing, but Bud Dupree gave credit to Jaron Elliott and Ola Adini for them being able to give them some breathers Bud came out and said, the play before he had his strip sack fumble that really helped put the game away, they got a chance because he was getting some blows, then a timeout was called. That gave him a little bit extra boost, get him back on the field, and to make a huge speed rush move. He just whipped right around the tackle and made that play. Those are the type of things that allow the Steelers to set the tone on defense.
And look what it does beyond the sacks, the secondary. It makes everything easier. Andy Dalton's been lighting up statistically.
I think they had the third most passing yards in the NFL coming into this game.
Statistically, coming into this game, and he had 89 yards at
something
one point
like that.
And
minus when you subtract the sack numbers, it's even less.
Yeah. So the sacks set the tone for everything, and they get a win. Weird how that works together.